Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for tuning in again. For today's look, I wanted to do this glam boho, modern chic boho bridal kind of a look. I do a lot of brides as part of my job and I absolutely love bridal makeup. I absolutely love brides. I love everything about weddings. I love bling, I love lace, I love flowers. I loved doing my own wedding and my own wedding makeup, and so I really wanted to do a bridal makeup tutorial today, focusing on luminous, beautiful skin, making your eyes really pop, having gorgeous lashes, really nice defined brows, and a beautiful natural sort of a lip. I really hope you like today's video. I'm going to list all the products that I used below. These are all products that I often use when I'm doing bridal makeup. And I really enjoy the process of working with brides and creating beautiful bridal looks. And this is one that I actually do a lot with brides, and I even do it on myself for going out at nights and that kind of thing. It's a similar sort of look that I did for my own wedding. So anyway, stay tuned. Keep watching if you like this look, and I hope you enjoy it. Again, feel free to subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram, that's Cat Elizabeth Artistry. I post all my makeup adventures on there. I'm also on Snapchat, Cat Elizabeth Artistry, and I'm on Facebook as well. So feel free to check out all those different channels, and have a lovely day. So the first thing you want to do is moisturize your skin well. I'm using my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream, which I absolutely love for plumping and preparing the skin, making it really hydrated and beautiful, ready for the makeup application. It's really important to prime your skin for this kind of makeup look. I'm using the Natural Radiance Base Lumiere by MAC Cosmetics to prime my skin. Just rubbing this in all over the face. The foundation I'm going to use is Born This Way Too Faced foundation. This is in the tone Warm Nude. This is a medium to full coverage oil-free foundation. I'm working it in with an airbrushing buffing brush. This one's a Zoeva Silk Finish 102 brush. I really like this brush in combination with this particular foundation. So just really working it in all over, making an effort to cover any imperfections and really buff it out, making your skin as flawless and perfect as possible. That's really the essence of bridal makeup. It's having perfect, flawless skin. To conceal and start the highlighting sculpting process, I'm using the Naked Skin Urban Decay Concealer in the color Warm Light under my eyes, underneath my cheekbones, on my Cupid's bow, chin and forehead, and then blending this in with a damp beauty blender, making sure to create a really seamless and flawless transition between concealer and foundation. To set and brighten under my eye area, I'm using the Mercier Secret Brightening Powder and applying this using a fluffy brush with a tapered end. I'm then going to take the Mercier Translucent Powder for more of an all-over setting, and I'm going to apply this around my T-zone, on my chin, under my lips, and on my forehead. A last step I like to do is to further set and brighten this area using the Urban Decay Naked Skin Ultra Definition Powder Foundation. This is in the tone Warm Light. I'm just applying this using the same fluffy powder brush. Moving on to eyes, the first step is to prime. I'm using the MAC Pro Longwear Paint Pot in the colour Soft Ochre. To set the primer all over my eyelid, I'm going to use the shade Vanilla Bean by Makeup Geek Cosmetics all over the eyelid. I like to do my brows next, so moving on, I'm just brushing them up with a spoolie. I'm going to use the Alison Jade Deep Brunette Brow Balm to start carving out the shape of the brows that I want for this bridal look. Just taking time to get a precise shape. This is going to look really nice in your bridal photos. Using my Benefit Browsings in the shade number 5, I'm going to use a precision angled brush and start further filling in those brows on top of the brow balm that I've used already. Just making sure the brows are nice and defined and clean looking. I'm brushing them up again with my spoolie. I've got quite downward pointing brows, which is frustrating, so I have to tame them a bit more. I'm using a little bit of the Brow Fibre product by Benefit also to brush them up more and help to set them in place. This product is the bomb. I absolutely love it. I like my brows to look full and bushy, if that makes sense. I think this is a really nice product to enhance your brows for bridal makeup. Using the shade Peach Smoothie by Makeup Geeks Cosmetics, I'm going to start carving out my crease and getting a little bit of definition happening on the eyes. Using circular motions and a soft fluffy blending brush. Adding in the next shade of eyeshadow now. This is Creme Brulee by Makeup Geek Cosmetics. It's still soft. I'm keeping this nice and soft, but it's just a little darker than the previous shade. I'm blending this in using a MAC 217 blending brush. Any soft fluffy blending brush will do. Just make sure it's a little bit smaller than that first brush you used. Going back and forth in windscreen wiper motions all over both eyes. Next up, I'm taking this purple shade called Blackberry from my MAC Cool Neutral palette and applying that just to the outer corner using the MAC 217 brush again. Using the shade Embark by MAC, I'm going to place this right in the outer corner using a flat synthetic brush. This one is the Sigma E57 brush. Just patting that on, being as precise as you can and trying to avoid any harsh lines. Then I'm going to just blend those all together using the MAC 217 brush again, creating a seamless blended look. I like to carve out the crease slightly with a little bit of creamy concealer and a concealer brush. This helps to make the lighter colours on the eyes pop out more. Taking the shade After Dusk from my Cool Neutral MAC palette, I'm just going to pat some of this onto the eyelid next to the darkest shade in the outer corner. You can see how the concealer helps to make the colour really pop, and it will last longer too. The next shade I'm using is Ready to Party from MAC, and applying this closer to the inner portion of my eye, again using a nice flat synthetic brush. Whatever you have will do. Using the white shade in the palette, I'm going in with a really small precision brush right to the inner corner to finish off that transitioning effect from dark through to light. Before highlighting my brow bone, I'm just going to carve out my brow bone a little bit and clean it up using that same flat concealer brush and a little bit of creamy concealer under the brow and above the brow. Taking a nice bright highlighting shade, I think this is Nylon by MAC, I'm applying this using a precision brush to the very, very inner corner tear duct area of my eye and also underneath my brow bone to further lift the brow bone and create that beautiful multi-dimensional eye look that I really like to do. Onto eyeliner now, drawing a nice precise line all the way along the lash line with a nice defined flick. I'm using the Stila Stay All liquid eyeliner. Any felt tip liquid eyeliner that you have, or a gel even, using a precision brush to apply it is fine. But the point is that it's really clean really black, really defined, and has that nice big kick at the end. I'm taking a soft brown shade. Sorry to be unhelpful here. I can't quite remember what the name of that shade was, and I've covered the name of it with a magnet to stick it into my palette, but it's a soft brown shade, and I'm just going to apply that underneath my eyes first to start that blended out, smoked out effect, then taking a more precision brush and applying the blackberry shade again on top of that close to the lash line, and then defining it even further using Embark right up tight close to the lash line, using a sharp precision brush to really define that under the eye area. I'm going to use a nude liner here on the waterline. This is a MAC liner. It's in the shade NC15. It's actually a precision concealing brush. You can use it for pinpoint concealing too, which is handy, but it brightens under the eyes. Then I'm going to really curl my lashes using an eyelash curler, making sure they're nice and bouncy and turning upwards. And then, of course, using mascara. I'm using the Perversion mascara by Urban Decay. This isn't waterproof. You may want to use a waterproof mascara for bridal makeup, and in fact I recommend you do. I didn't for this particular look because I'm not actually going to get married today, but I really like this mascara and it's beautiful and black. If you don't think you're going to cry, then this is probably quite appropriate, but a lot of brides do cry. On to bronzing. I'm using Hula by Benefit and a bronzing brush. Whatever bronzing brush you have is good, as long as it's got a little bit of an angle to it and it's nice and soft and gives a soft application. You want to go in soft here. You don't want to do all that hard work and then wreck it with a big splodge of too much bronzer. So going down the cheekbone and up into the hairline, really creating a nice warm halo all the way around the face. I like to do some on the chin and jawline. I think this is an important part of creating that multi-dimensional look to the face with lots of clean lines and a really perfect finish. Using a smaller fluffy brush, you can use an eyeshadow blending brush here, just slightly contouring the nose, also using the Hula bronzer. Again, be really soft-handed here, gentle-handed, not too much. And make sure you're blending up the nose and just to the inner corner of the brow as well. A step I like to do is to chisel the cheekbones further by stamping on some of the Laura Mercier translucent powder underneath where we did our bronzer. Then using the shade Incandescent Light from my Hourglass Ambient palette, I'm starting off with some light highlighting here. Nothing too full on or beaming, just a nice soft initial start of the highlighting. Then I sweep across the whole palette and I just do an all over face, very soft sweep of all the products together. This helps to airbrush the face. Then I'm going to use my Clinique blush here in the shade Bashful Blush, a great bridal blush, and using a blush brush, just applying this to the apples of my cheeks in roundy round sweepy motions, kind of following the bronzer and really adding some warmth and colour to the cheeks. Sweep away that excess translucent powder, make sure you don't leave that there. To ramp up the highlighting a little bit, I'm using the Pro Light Fusion highlighter from Makeup Forever and a smaller highlighting brush. I'm using one of the oval brushes. This one's from Simple Glam Girls, and it just allows for precision highlighting. I'm doing this on the cheekbones, in a C shape around the brows, down the middle of the nose, and on my Cupid's bow. Next up, we're applying some false lashes. I'm using the lashes called Kristy by Wasp Hair and some duo glue. They're nice and dainty and natural looking, but they still have a wow factor, and I apply them onto the lash line using tweezers. I'm using the lip liner Etc. It's a Pro Longwear lip pencil from MAC to line my lips. I like this shade for bridal lipstick as a liner. And then I'm going to go in with the lipstick Modesty by MAC. This is a nice creamy lipstick with almost a bit of a glossy finish to it, which I really like. It's a really kissable kind of look that you get from this lipstick. I am a huge fan of gloss. This one is an Estee Lauder one. It doesn't really matter what you use, but something with a little bit of sparkle in it is gorgeous and really throws the light and makes your lips look plump and full. Just applying that to the middle portion. So there you go, guys. That's the finished look. I hope you like it. It's nice and natural, but it still has some wow factor and a bit of glam. It'll leave you looking like the best version of yourself on your wedding day.